Sagittarius, I'm hearing something about paying the piper, the Pied Piper. It's due. We're gonna find out what exactly that would mean for you in terms of the energy reading for you. What does it mean to pay the Pied Piper? I'm hearing that for some of you, you've had to make some payments. Could be energetic more so than anything else. I don't see you actually losing too much financial stock. Let's have a look and see. For Sagittarius, why do they need to pay the piper? We have charity here. We have exaltation. And we have adaptability. The numbers 4, 2, and 3 could speak to you, or 3, 4, 2 could speak to you in that order. This could be someone's birthday, something very specific here, or it could be with someone that you've been dealing with regards to this birthday. So take it however it works for you. The energy is flexible. The questions that you may have had prior to coming here on this channel is now being answered, because there is no time, and we will look at the energy within this part for you. And welcome to the Arcana Veil. It is a pleasure for me to read for you. We have the 5 of coins here in charity. We have the 2 of wands in reverse. We will take this. We have the 10 of cups here. We have the 9 of cups. And we have the 2 of cups. A lot of cups here for Sagittarius, which is fire. So you've been feeling a little tied down with a lot of emotional energy that you've been having to deal with. There's more water here than there's fire, and the fire is in the reverse. But that's okay, because within that there's also a release. In the heart of the nature, you are experiencing the most amazing place within your deepest consciousness, where you feel that you are truly blessed for the ability to have been able to do a lot of things for people. But there is a little bit of a heads up here saying that you should be careful not to do too much, so that you do it at the cost of yourself. The 5 of coins very strongly showing that even though you are doing so much for others, that you may often neglect yourself. Within the entire nature here, I would say that is the Pied Piper that you are now finishing off with, that you are being brought to a point to realize that this is not something that you can really solve outwardly. It means you have to solve it inwardly, and this is why the 2 of wands is internal. It's pointing down. And we will be looking at the shadow as well. The dark is as much part of the light as the light is a part of the dark. Without the dark, you cannot see the light, and without the light, you cannot see the dark. And these are the most glorious parts that belong to one another. Within the center point, it's where it meets. So, within the heart, and that is the star between the 2 parts. I felt I needed to share that with someone of the Sagittarius collective. Right, so you are a very giving, very generous person. You are exalted in the way that you can give and do things for others. This is very specific to your nature as a giver and a lover of people and things. You are also nurturing the ability to do this within the nature of yourself. I can see the Nine of Cups here is indicative of coming to a point now where you must now invest and plow back into yourself. Now it's about validation within the true sense of who you are, within the nature of your heart. In other words, you're a kind person and only you will know, and I will affirm this for you, that you know who you are in your deepest heart of hearts, or in your deepest heart of your nature, of your being. And within this, we're seeing here that as much as you may have given to a relationship, which is very strongly affirmed here by the Two of Cups, perhaps you may have given more to that person than you think or you feel you may have received back. So there's a little bit of a deficit here at this moment. Your scales are a little off balance here in your internal side, but that's okay, because this is why you're here, to find out how to resolve that, how to clear that up. And there is most certainly no judgment on this channel at all. It is just simply to share the wisdom and the information to those who seek it. And the information is, as of course, timeless, because there is no time. Let's have a look at the shadows for you. And I can feel someone feeling like, don't do that. You're gonna be fine. Here is the Justice card. What did I've just said to you now about the scales? And this one, the Ten of Swords, which was gonna fall down, but I've caught it just in time. Right over my solar plexus. By the way, for someone, you may feel a little tight around your stomach area in terms of stress. Don't let it consume you. We have the Eight of Swords underneath the Ten of Cups. We have the Five of Swords underneath the Nine of Cups. Very interesting. Dynamic is very clear here. And then we have the Six of Wands underneath the Two of Cups. Alright. So, off the bat, we're seeing that there's a Ten of Swords here, and there's a Ten of Cups there. Within the nature of that which is in the deeper subconscious level. As above the heavens, within your mind, the upper part of your body, your mind, body, soul, and spirit, and beyond the navel and going downwards, the lower world, or the underworld, or the subconscious. That is how that works. Within the nature of this expression, we're seeing that there's definitely a subtle sort of wound over the ability to feel like you're doing a lot to gain some kind of experience, some kind of recognition, some more love. You're doing a lot of things to find joy. And the more you're doing it, the more you feel like it's getting harder and a little bit slower for you to do it every time. You are even questioning whether you've become hardened or whether you've become selfish, is the word I'm hearing. Selfish. And none of that is true. That is just your fears talking to you to tell you, or to try and justify to you why you feel that you should not question yourself. I'm hearing someone say you should be grateful for X, Y, and Z. You should be grateful for this, this, and that. Or you should be happy he or she is doing this or this for you. And that is just set there to make you feel even more guilt in the pit of your stomach. And this in itself is met, there's an arrow pointing down to saying that we're needing to observe why you're in that position with regards to feeling guilty for questioning someone's authenticity, questioning what they are actually doing for you. This is why you have felt for so long that you've had to work so much harder to establish yourself in the particular way that is part of your nature, because you're such a giving person, because you've got such a beautiful, strong, giving heart. That no wonder you feel that, what about me? I've been doing this and this and this for so long, and all they've done is this and this and that. If I really had to sit back and look at things in an objective perspective, you could see that this is just for someone specific in the Sagittarius collective. Does not mean it's for everyone, but there is a lesson within this for the entire collective as it stands, and that is the fire of the Sagittarius is met with a resistance of water, which is the consciousness that is shaping the way the arrows should flow, in the way that you would forge a sword here. 8 of swords, 10 of swords, 5 of swords. You are reforging your arrows. That is what you've got as your gift, as your power. You usually have fire at the end of your arrow for you to use to shoot with. You are also that which is the most strongest within the system of the reality as a being that can care and love, but can also almost do this at the cost of themselves. And I'm here to tell you that you need to take more care of yourself now, because you are met with the time now to put the swords, the arrows into the water so that it may harden the blade for the next round of your life path. That is why blacksmiths use a lot of water when they make weapons or tools. The water solidifies, hardens the metal so that it becomes more, so that it can be sharpened. Okay, and that is really what it's for, is why you are now in this position. Within the process here underneath the 10 of cups, the 8 of swords is suggesting that, can love be so destructive to hold me in a position that I am unable to breathe, that my fire feels like it's busy drowning in a pool of water? That is what I'm seeing here. I am seeing, however, that the 5 of swords within its nature of how you reason, because essentially you're also using a lot of air to reason things within the nature of what you hold with you, that you're coming out of that cycle. This may have been the past, because this is truly part of what has been in the lower parts of your consciousness for some time. I'm also seeing here that you're met with the 6 of wands right underneath the 2 of cups. 2 of cups, obviously, for those that are aware of tarot, suggesting a coming together or being part of something, being connected to someone. So this, to me, I feel strongly connects through to a relationship that one of you or some of you may have that may be a bit difficult to handle at this point in time. If this person does not exist in your life path, then this is really the relationship you have within yourself, because the same thing applies. We have the masculine and we have the feminine, and there is a little bit of a friction between those two within the heart of the nature here, which suggesting that I don't know which side to pick, and I'm saying to you, you should just choose yourself. Within the 6 of wands here, we are seeing there's definitely a clarifying process taking place. You kind of get out of this watery space for a little bit to get some fresh air, to be met with the Queen of Swords as giving you the reason. Because let me tell you, Sagittarius has the Queen of Swords also as a support or a trump on their side. A trump card or an ace card or an ace in the deck, to put it like that. We are seeing the 7 of swords here over the 9 of cups and the 5 of swords. Again, the numbers seem to be speaking as well. There is a realization now that you may have had your energy perhaps taken from you. Perhaps you're realizing that it's time to step out of the place where you've given too much energy to, or too much thoughts towards. I'm hearing the words too much thinking. Too much thinking can actually not be healthy at all. And so within this process, I can see you escaping a little, leaving a little bit of that space behind. You're kind of walking sort of off there, becoming a little aloof. That's not a bad thing. I'm always hearing that being aloof is maybe not a good idea, but in this case, it would serve you in a little way. By all means, I'm not saying you must be the devil's advocate. Of course not. We have the sun over the heart area, over the 10 of cups and the 8 of swords. Within the nature of that, you are now starting to see the picture. You're starting to see your own true glory of your, after you have removed your weapons out of the water of forging, which is an alchemical process, as I said, and you are now seeing the beauty of the nature of who you truly are. And within that, the sun shows that there is light within this area of where you feel the most pain. Can we see here on this end? 2 came out. I will take them since I need 2. We have the Queen of Cups here. We have the King of Swords. Sorry. This one is the third one. I'll put it down on this end. This is the devil, just so that you know. There's nothing fearful about the devil. The devil is just simply a position of tangled up feelings with regards to how do I get out of this place now, this thing now? How do I stop sending money to the charity? Because I'm actually starting to, I'm starting to not have enough money to buy a loaf of bread or to buy food. How do I say no? That's what that means. That's basically why it's come up here. There's the King of Swords here suggesting which is part of your power. You have air as part of your power. Or how else are your arrows able to burn? You need the fire. Fire needs air, right? So that is part of your position, your energy. It's what you've got with you. And you decide to step into a place where you decide to put things to place now. You just decided, that's it. I'm sucking this now up. I'm doing this. I'm putting the pen to paper and I'm resigning from this board. I'm done with this. I'm done doing babysitting. I'm done doing this. Remember that the devil is here at the back end. It's not really even in your reading. It's sort of outside here, as typical as it always is, because one's thoughts tend to go all over the place, where you often then tend to drag certain things in from the outside to try and make sense of it within. But the devil plays a role, as much as it needs to be said, that it is often there and will never lie, but it will always present something that is amiss, something that is wrong, or something that needs attention. It's not a solitary energy. It is something that is just a mirror that holds up an illusion for the idea to understand what you need to work on. Think of it as a mirror that shows the negative up. That's all you should see the devil as. We have the Queen of Cups here over the 10 of Swords. Very well placed here. You have a queen here and a queen here, and you have a king here. You have the parts that are the royal aspects within the consciousness here. So you are fully aware of doing a little bit more than you should be doing. Perhaps in this way, the message has come across that you are now finally stepping into that place where you are able to give to yourself, to apply the self-love and the self-care as you should be doing. Perhaps you have forgotten how to do that. I hope that this has given you the inspiration and the drive and the direction for you to switch on your fiery arrows once more in this pathway. Sagittarius, this was your reading. If you've found the way that I read as intriguing and unique, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.